What happened to M. Night Shyamalan?
Theory has it that he died as a child, and that gave him the psychic powers to see dead people, and then he wrote a movie about it.
He's been dead this whole
And
time?
I think he's been dead this whole time. So M. Night Shyamalan that you see on TV isn't actually M. Night Shyamalan, it's just a double. And they grew up to be M. Night Shyamalan.
Well, that's weird because the movie you're making me watch today is an M. Night Shyamalan movie that came out and we watched today. I mean, it didn't come out today, but
Allegedly.
we just watched it. Called Knock at the Cabin. Is there two knocks? Is there just one knock? Knock at the
I
Cabin.
think just knock. It was a singular. There was multiple knocks, but in the title, just one knock.
There was knocks at the cabin.
It was a long knock. He kind of kept knocking. It's kind of obnoxious.
You need to get in.
Obnoxious?
Ooh.
Obnoxious at the cabin?
But Dave Bautista wasn't very obnoxious in the movie. He was actually very calm and collected and very sweet guy.
Did you know any of the other actors in the movie?
I knew Rupert Grint from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I've seen him before.
First one to die.
Yeah.
I know Jonathan Gruff from something. I think is that his name.
Yeah, the dude who ends up being the guy in the end who gets it. I knew him
Yeah,
from something.
I just can't recall from where. But I've definitely seen him in stuff.
So, we just found out this is not written by M. Night Shyamalan.
No, it is.
Well,
the
script-
screenplay
the
was.
Screenplay was.
It's based off of a book, but it's not an original
And
idea
it
by him. Right?
Supposedly changed the story
Did he
to make it
write?
more Shyamalan-y, probably.
Did he fully write his other movies?
Most of them.
Yeah.
They weren't.
All of them, actually,
Sixth
yeah.
Sense was not adapted from anything.
No, none of his movies were, I don't think, until
I feel
Avatar,
like
The
something
Last
else was
Airbender.
adapted. Oh yeah, Avatar was for
I think
sure.
that was adapted. And I think After Earth might have been based off of a comic book.
So what happened? You like this movie, Schwartz?
I did.
That surprises
I think this
me.
is M. Night's best movie in a long time. Since Split. Best movie since Split.
Well, he's only made one other movie since then.
He's made three. He made Glass, and then he made Old.
Oh yeah,
And I didn't really like either of those movies.
yeah, they both kind of sucked.
Yeah. As we've always said, M. Night started off pretty damn strong. I think his first four films are masterpieces, and then after that he falls off pretty damn hard. His ideas are always cool. The premises are always interesting. There's always some glimmer of awesomeness in everything that he does. It just, I don't know. I think to keep up with as good as it was in the beginning is just kind of an impossible task.
I got correct on something. It's not his first four because he did. Sixth Sense is actually his third film
Well,
because he has a movie called Wide Awake that had Rosie O'Donnell or some shit in it.
yeah, his first two movies no one saw.
And then the other one is probably I don't know if his first one even got really released anywhere because it was just starring him.
Yeah.
Called Praying with Anger. Sounds cool.
Yeah.
But then yeah, Sixth Sense is definitely his high point, and he kind of just dips from there.
Breakable's his best film.
I think it's interesting because I saw a pattern in his IMDb reviews. Sixth Sense 8.2, Unbreakable 7.3, Signs 6.8, Village 6.6, Lady in the Water 5.5, The Happening 5, Last Airbender 4. That's a hard.
I mean, it's not
downhill.
hard, but it is a trajectory
Yeah.
in the downward
Yeah.
trend.
Megaverse.
Megaverse?
M. Night Shyamalan verse.
The thing is, too, is that when you're dealing with movies that are completely a type of genre, you gotta expect some sort of backlash. Not everybody's into movies like that.
What?
You know what I
Twisty.
mean? Twisty things that rely on the imagination to an extent, more than others. Things that are supposed to be there to fuck with you, purposely to make you think. A lot of people don't like shit like that.
I just think he's a guy that has good ideas but doesn't know how to write a fucking ending.
Well, you didn't like this ending?
Not really.
Yeah, it was kind of lackluster.
This
The only
movie
thing I didn't like
pretty
was the four
basic.
apocalypse horsemen.
That was
stuff I didn't
To
really
me, that was
wasn't
the
Is
twist.
that not
was
the whole point of the movie?
Yeah, that
I mean,
was
I guess, but I was a little spot on.
That was-
The mystery of why they were doing it was kind of the most interesting part to me. I wish we never would have found out why they were doing
the
it.
whole movie was a little too on
Little
the nose.
on the nose
Yeah.
would be this movie's downfall, I think.
It's a great idea, though. If you were to pitch this premise to somebody,
What's the idea?
You'd be like, "That's cool."
What's
I thought
the
the opening scene was probably my favorite scene with him and her talking in the forest. That was
Well,
a
that's
great
because
scene.
Batista killed it. Batista
Yeah, he
was
was
great in
great.
this movie, but
Plus, the
other than
shots
that,
were pretty ridiculous. Everything was so tight and so shallow.
Yeah, it
Those
was
were
pretty dope.
And then
everything. It was
really dramatic
almost,
racks.
almost so. It was almost hard to watch the whole time because it was hard on the eyes with how like close you.
Well, it was very bright too.
It was bright.
Distracting.
It feels like your maybe your eyes were exposing for the how bright it was, but also like because of how shallow the depth of field was, I felt like my eyes were, and they were creeping in and out, but it felt like I was trying to focus the whole time. It was almost kind of hard to like my eyes almost needed a break.
Yeah.
But yeah, it starts out with a little girl catching grasshoppers, which is like, I mean, kind of on the nose, especially once it gets into like, the plagues and everything.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Oh yeah, it's true. I think about that. The locusts, the early signs,
and it starts out pretty quick too, because she's there
clever.
and she's capturing them, and then about 30 seconds later, Batista's walking up on her.
Basically, all we see is a little girl in the middle of a forest. I'm wondering where her parents are.
Yeah, and then this dude walks up to her, played by Batista. He tells her his name is Leonard, and that he wants to be friends with her, and they start asking each other questions. What do they ask each other? What questions do they ask?
He's like kind of borderline creepy.
Yeah, but you never think he's gonna hurt her though. I'll give him that. You never think he's gonna hurt her. At least I did.
I don't know. He definitely had child molester vibes.
Definitely had
Did
like
he?
I don't know. Yeah, definitely like Lovely Bones vibes.
Well, that's the worst
exactly,
kind of vibes
exactly.
you
You
get.
know what I'm saying?
Like,
That's the worst kind of
like,
vibes you get. That
e-
movie's fucking hardcore.
Either he's a totally sweet guy, or he's definitely gonna molest this girl.
Well,
That was kind of the vibe he gave
Hey,
me.
thankfully, both of those things are true. He did not molest her, and he was actually a sweet guy.
He was a sweet guy. He meant well. Genuine.
he
really did.
Genuine. You're right. I think he did. But I wasn't
Did
sure.
the world end in the end of the movie?
No, they stopped.
They
it.
stopped it. That's what the
Why did it look
newscast
like it was still burning? If
Well,
his
it
house
was,
burned down,
but nothing.
It just stopped.
Nothing further after what they saw was going to happen.
that didn't
All right, so
play toward to me.
so he talks to this little girl. They find out things about each other. You find out that she has two dads and that they are on vacation, and that he wants to make friends with her. And he tells her that she should go tell her dads that they're going to come in the house and they should just let them in because otherwise they're going to break in.
Yeah.
And then the dads are like, "What the fuck?" And that's what happens. They attempt to break in and they get in.
They start knocking at
Yeah.
the cabin, and they're trying to politely turn him away, and then Batista has these like speeches that he keeps giving
Yeah.
about like
Eventually they get in, and then
Then there's four of them. There's
Yeah.
Batista. There's two women. One's a nurse, and then the other's a mom, and that's really all you know about her.
She's
and then
a
there's
cook as
another
well.
cook. She's a cook and a mom. And then there's the fourth dude who is Rupert Grint from Harry Potter. And
Scumbag.
He's like a redneck, fucking racist piece of shit.
which I think he is in real life.
I think he's English, isn't he?
you can still be
all
scumbag
those
in
Is he a redneck
English.
if you're English? Like from England? They got rednecks in England?
Sure.
Oh yeah, dude, they got
Redneck
rednecks
race
everywhere.
piece of shit.
Hillbillies, people,
I mean, I know
that,
that.
people that
Shout out to my
live in the
redneck,
hills.
to my English rednecks. Redneck's not necessarily a bad thing. It's all the preceding stuff that makes him bad.
That's true. I mean, I didn't think physically if you're a redneck, you're a bad person.
Let's see. One of the dads hits his head when the people break in. He's like the nicer of the two dads, I guess you can say.
Calmer. More cool
He's
and collected.
calmer. One of the dudes is kind of like
That broke.
edgy and cool,
It
I
done
guess,
that, bro.
right? No, yeah.
I didn't break it. Cheers,
Breaking
There
shit.
you go. You fixed it.
I'm a fixer.
All right, keep going.
We're listening.
That's it.
All right.
That's how it ends.
No,
That's it.
so he gets
Two
so
dads.
they tie him up, and he goes. Batista explains that. Well, this is the thing. They never say where they're from, which I thought was interesting. Which I kind of wish.
No, they do. They all give a little speech. They all introduce
But they never say
themselves.
why they're there together, who was sent them, or anything like that, right? They never really explain that.
Did they get together
Eventually
with
they do.
Rupert Grint? Like it sounded like Rupert Grint got them all together
Really?
on like a boardwalk somewhere, and then they.
No, they all were.
Oh, they all saw the same visions.
Yeah, they were all saying they had the same visions, and they started
Yes.
talking about it online, and then they kind of
Yeah,
realized
chat room.
that
They met in
those
chat room. That was a
those
Forum.
four of them
Forum, yeah.
like had the same visions, so they came together and met
Yeah.
up and all that, and had visions of them meeting up and everything.
four people who didn't know each other at all.
Yeah.
Four complete strangers. Which is cool. That's a great fucking premise. It's a great, interesting premise.
Well, one kind of flaw I noticed in that, and they even sort of acknowledged it in the movie, is like when they said, like the one of the dads at least was like suspicious of them for targeting them because they were gay,
Yeah.
and they even said like, "Oh, we didn't even know this was a same-sex couple."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how do you not know that if you saw fucking everything?
vision.
Like
I mean,
they seem
they
to be
see
like
everything.
have seen everything.
Well, I think they saw what they were supposed to see.
Order of the people who they sacrificed and everything.
I mean,
like
I get what you're saying, but I don't think that makes or breaks it because that can just be they weren't supposed to see that.
Do we know what they saw?
They saw the
Not
visions, all the fucking devastations, the planes falling, the waves, all that shit. That's what
But
they saw.
Oh,
I
because
guess-
he was like at a certain point he was like repeating what.
Yeah.
They
That
just
was
didn't
interesting.
know what the family looked like, even though they knew they had the. They
Just knew a place they had to get to. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't.
So
hate that.
so
I
the
don't
main
hate that.
plot point is that they basically tell the family that they have to sacrifice one of the family members in order to stop the apocalypse.
Yes. And that every is it every day or every hour they decide not to do it?
It's every time they give them the
They
offer
give
to
them
the
the offer.
decision. Yeah.
One of the you find out that he says that the world is going to feel a devastation, and what you come to find is that they have to sacrifice themselves one at a time, and that causes the devastation.
So that is what's causing what's going on is them dying
Yes.
instead of one of them.
Yep. So they're like disciples. They're like
They're like
No,
the
it was already
four
part of it was
horsemen.
already happening.
But it was already that's what you come to find later is
Yeah.
that it's already been put in motion. This is like the last ditch effort to get it to stop.
Yeah.
It was
The
already like there were
apocalypse
things
started.
going on, but then like the mass casualty situations happened right after
Yeah.
every time.
Right.
Like there was already a virus, but then like they turned it on and that
Right.
headline came on. However
Yeah.
many died.
And there was already the earthquake. The earthquake happened after the first sacrifice was what's his name from Harry Potter?
Well, his name is
Rupert
Rupert
Grint.
Grint. His name in Harry Potter is fucking Ron Weasley.
They said Redmond
Ron Weasley.
in Knock at the Cabin. His name is Redmond, but then later we found out he was a different person. But either way, he I
Do
guess
you
they
guys know
sacrificed
any
him first.
spells from Harry Potter?
No, not a Harry
You can't
Potter
name
guy.
one spell.
No,
That's a word from Harry Potter.
That's all I got.
Slytherin.
You know, Muggle. There was like a man. I can't remember what it was. This Muggle originally comes from marijuana smokers. Like the etymology of the word comes from like, they're
Pass
not
me that
normal
Muggle,
people. They're
dude.
just Muggles.
You
Like,
want to go Muggle?
kind of. That sounds dirty.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying we should go Muggle or something.
The fuck does that even mean?
I
What
think
does
it
Muggle
means
mean?
smoke weed.
Muggle is not
you
a
just said that.
non-magical character.
Oh,
Or a
that's Jake,
non-magical
100%.
person.
Jake's a Muggle.
Oh, like a
for
Goyle.
sure.
A Goyle.
Like a Gollum.
That's just a non-Jew.
That's a non-Jew. Yeah, Goyle. Yeah, exactly.
Are you saying Jews are magical?
yes?
Oh wow.
What powers do they possess?
Let's not get racist
It's
here,
not.
guys.
I can't. I don't want to reveal anything.
You're already teetering with the Jews, Jake.
Jewish.
Shout out to Spiederman.
Anyway, also what I think was cool about the movie.
Wingardium Leviosa it floats things in the air.
Okay. What is it?
Wingardium Leviosa,
Okay.
not Leviosa, but continue.
So after they tell them that they have to make the sacrifice, I thought was cool was how they just said no. They were, and
of course.
obviously you would do that
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
most of the time. But after seeing some of the TV, I'd be like, oh shit. what
So,
the
like,
fuck's
but
going
literally,
on?
they come in, they say, one of you has to decide, or you guys have to decide of which one of you has to die.
Yeah.
And if
you
they
gotta
say,
do it.
and you got to do it.
and you got to watch the other person do it.
And if
Everybody's
you
gotta
don't,
watch.
we're gonna kill ourselves.
Well, they don't say that.
They don't say that, but that's what's going on.
They say that shit's gonna go down.
Shit's gonna go down.
And that's how it happens. That's the catalyst for it.
They say no.
So then Ron Weasley dies, and
Robin Weasley then gets down on the
a
ground,
fucking tsunami strikes the Pacific Northwest and kills a bunch of people.
which was pretty dope.
Pretty dope.
Well, here's another dumb part about that.
Oh,
If that
here we
fucking
go.
video was shot,
That's one
on
thing I
his
thought. How did they get
phone,
the video?
And then he like showed
How'd
him
they
getting
get the
washed
video?
away in the water. Yeah, exactly.
How'd they
like,
get the video?
And it wasn't like there was no
They were
implication
live.
that I was
Maybe
live
unless they
streaming.
were
Yeah,
it,
they're
live
live
streaming.
streaming.
but they didn't. it
Maybe
didn't
that's
imply
implied.
that.
Why do you have to be implied, Jake?
It
Why
just
can't you
needs
just
to be
assume
clear
it was
there.
live streaming?
Jake, the kind of things you're thinking about though are kind of like cookie cutter. You know what I mean? It's like it's not things that are going to change the story in any way. You're just kind of looking for shit. I feel.
And they're so cookie cutter for M. Night Shyamalan to have
Yeah.
those shots.
Yeah,
Like,
it was.
it's almost
Yeah,
like
like-
he was like, where am I going to put my technology?
Well, that's why
I feel
fucking
like
M.
you
Night
gotta not
Shyamalan
like
sucks.
it more. I think you gotta not like it more. Those are kind of things that are
No,
just kind
it
of
just
plain
like
Jane shit.
it just. If it was like a vertically shot and said like streaming or something,
Well, yeah.
then I'd be like, okay, I'll take that. But it was just very much like a video camera, and then it got washed away into the water. That just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, that's the one part where I went, how'd they get this footage? Right?
Exactly,
How'd they get this
it
footage?
takes you out of it. Like,
But
do
it's
it,
a movie.
I didn't think that
Well,
one.
But it's
fucking
a
do it
movie.
right.
Doesn't matter.
Do it
Movie.
right.
I let it go because it's a movie.
I didn't think, how did that spider get the technology to turn a man into Spider-Man in his venom? I never thought that. That never crossed my mind. I just went like this. Oh,
How
crazy.
did Godzilla get so big?
How
Who
did
gives a
Godzilla?
shit?
He was growing underwater.
Green jacket, gold jacket.
And with your question, it was the Osborn technology, and he got nuclear radiation.
Osborn.
There's
The
great.
answer to all these questions.
That's great.
But why? How did they get the footage? No one will know from this movie because this movie's got holes in the fucking plot.
Yeah, but did you see Signs?
Yeah, holes in that fucking plot.
You don't like Signs?
Not really.
Signs is great.
That was the beginning of the downfall of
Beginning
Shyamalan.
and end.
No, the
Shyamalan
the
really
beginning
has
of the
two good movies.
The beginning of the downfall is Lady in the Water.
Two good movies.
Shyamalan has 2 good movies,
Got
Jake says.
4
Let's
good
hear
movies.
this.
Jake's a fucking bitch.
Wow.
He's got 2 good ones and a handful of decent ones and a few.
All right, let's
a few
list.
trash
Let's
ones.
do. All right, real
We're
quick.
doing that now?
Real quick. Shyamalan draft.
Right? Well, we're gonna do that right now.
Sure. Yep. Jake,
We gotta
first
make
round, go.
We're not gonna make a video for that.
Yeah, we gotta make a video for that.
All right.
I mean, I'll list my
Let's
Shyamalan
we
do
can
in
just
what
order.
do
you
it.
wanna
We can
do.
do it.
I'll
for
list them
fun.
in order. How many
Yeah,
movies
yeah,
you
yeah.
got? 10. Okay, I'll list
Let's,
them.
no.
No,
Let's
he's
just do
got-
top
I actually-
top 5.
He has 13 films. I think
Top 5 Shyamalan.
So we can each do
go.
4, and it would work.
Cool.
No, let's just name top 5 because we don't have a video.
Top
right
4,
now.
top 5.
Top 5.
Top five.
Top 5. We'll agree. Yeah, we'll do top 5.
I'll go with first 5 movies. No, actually,
Fine.
no, it's not true.
Should I?
All right.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna go. Obviously, number 1 is Unbreakable. Number 2, Sixth
Obviously.
Sense. Number 3, Signs. Number 4, Village. Number 5, Split.
Jake.
Obviously, Sixth Sense is number 1.
Not obviously.
Number 2 is Unbreakable. Those are his 2 good ones. And after that, probably Signs. Then I'll take Split. That one's pretty good, not great. And then I'll actually throw in The Visit for my bottom 5 because that
Good
one's
choice, good
kind of
choice.
an interesting, different one for him.
It's found footage.
Didn't hate it.
Found footage. And the ending's pretty dope.
Yeah.
The ending's pretty dope.
I gotta agree with Jake on the Sixth Sense number 1.
Obviously,
I'll go Unbreakable number 2.
Of course,
Signs.
of course.
Signs.
That's
Number
universal top 3.
Gotta be. And then in no particular order, The Village and The Happening.
The
I'm kidding.
Happening.
I'm kidding.
The Happening's
I'm
kinda
kidding.
hilarious.
Happening's got a great
I'm
premise
kidding.
again, though. Great
It
premise.
does, it
oh,
does.
great 15-minute opening.
It
I'll
does,
take
it's
The
not good.
Happening over The Village.
Oh God, Jake, no
Yeah.
way. The
I
Village
will,
is so
I will
good.
professional wrestle you, Jake.
That's fine.
You got to rewatch The Village.
Who wins? We have to decide that in advance.
Yeah,
I'll write the script.
I do. No, we're gonna fight to the death. No, not The Village. I mean, not The Happening. Which one am I missing?
The Village.
No,
No,
you
I
got-
said-
Split,
Village.
Glass.
No, so it's got to be one of those.
Oh yeah, old.
No, it's got to be
This one.
Split. Then I like Split.
Yeah,
Split was
Split's
good.
pretty
It
good.
was great.
Split was good because of James McAvoy.
He was amazing. Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
he was rad.
Yeah,
He
there was
wrote
some-
it.
there
He
was some
wrote it
dumb
for
shit in that.
Joaquin, but Joaquin turned it down.
But Signs is
I don't
might
agree.
be my sleeper favorite movie. I love
Unbreakable
Signs.
is so fucking good.
It's good.
Unbreakable's one of my.
Unbreakable's very good.
Unbreakable's my top 50 movies of all time.
Signs I could just put on and it's just fun to watch no matter where it is.
It is a
no matter what's
fun
going
movie.
on.
I think the first
Aliens.
4. I think his first 4 movies are great films. Great fucking films.
All right.
My favorite M Night cameo is in this one though,
mean,
as the
first
guy
4.
selling the chicken. That was a great fucking cameo.
Keep saying first 4, and you're wrong.
No, they're great.
So you like Praying with Anger, Wide Awake, Sixth Sense, and Unbreakable?
You know the first
Whatever,
4 he's
dude.
talking about.
So I like his
God
fucking
damn it.
Same.
second 4.
Not wrong. Not right. First, second 4?
Yeah, whatever.
That makes sense.
It does. Shut up. It's
He's
science.
gonna have to professional wrestle you too. Jake.
Just tell me who wins.
So where are we? Where are we?
We're at the first.
the
So Rupert
homie
Grint
died.
Rupert Grint they sacrificed
Tsunamis
him.
Basically,
everywhere.
the
Pacific Northwest, Dunzo.
The
Dunzo.
video. The video.
And then what
We
happened?
saw
See the
that.
video.
the uncanny video.
And then what happens?
And then it kind of just repeats itself three more times.
Yeah. He's like, well, they gave him like a night.
They keep trying to convince them to do it. That's what this movie is. They're trying to convince them to do it, and
And they're not there to hurt him.
no,
They're-
that's what they've realized
They're
right
not
then
violent.
is that they're not going to hurt them. They're hurting
Yeah.
themselves, and that was pretty cool. I didn't see that coming. That was
Yeah.
pretty cool. I'll give it that. That was interesting because that takes away if you're not afraid physically, just mentally, that's kind of fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like these people are in your house holding you hostage, but technically, like they're not physically gonna harm you. They're only gonna actually that's not true. They're gonna make you not leave. So they will physically harm you to the point of you being able to be a functioning person.
Yeah, they're restraining you. They're restraining you, but they're at the first point, yeah, you're right. They did hurt them. But at the first time, like they when they hurt the first guy, he hit his head. The nurse like immediately was like, I gotta help her. I gotta help him. I'm a nurse. So like that was kind of a thing too, where we knew that they weren't gonna hurt him, but they do. You're right, because he goes out to the car at a certain point, and she fucking starts slamming his legs, and then she starts like stabbing him in the side.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Well, that's a little later on, but yeah, they're explaining it again, and then again, they kind of get what's going on now.
Yeah,
and then at this point, you're kind of seeing the guy that the
concussed guy starting to believe it. He's starting to, and you come to find he's religious because he quotes shit in the end. So that's why I think he starts believing it first.
Yeah,
they reference that too when they're picking up their daughter.
Oh, that's one thing we haven't talked about. Sorry, go ahead.
He says to him, he's like, "You can pray if you want. I won't say anything."
He says what?
He says, "You can pray if you want. I won't say anything." When they were in the hallway waiting to be brought in to
meet her for the first time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't pick up on that actually. I didn't hear that.
And he had a good relationship with his mom, and that other guy's parents weren't accepting of him. So there's a lot of anger built up in one character when the other character was more of a positive.
Jake
person.
saw this movie twice,
and this is the thing we haven't talked about yet. Is we're also seeing flashbacks of how these dudes met, how they got their daughter, how they got to the cabin throughout the whole movie, and it's cool because it ends up being that somebody or two people in love completely have like undying love for each other, the ones who have to make this sacrifice. So it's like, I guess, a romantic and devastating thing. I guess I don't know.
Why don't you know?
Because I don't know.
Of the 70s.
Do I believe that? I don't know if I believe that, but I guess it's cinematic.
So the next, they do it again. They say
who dies the second time? The other lady,
the chef.
The chef,
and she makes a full blown plea. To him.
Yeah.
I'm a
tells him about her kid.
Yeah. I have a job. I'm a mom, working hard. I got a kid. This is the kid's name. She's like, I'm going next. Like, I'm the next.
I gotta go next. Yeah. Also, when they see this footage, these people are like freaking out. Like, holy shit, that's what we saw. Holy shit, they're pointing out what they saw, which is kind of crazy. Like,
the ones with the visions.
Four Horsemen. Like the thing is that
they're just as baffled as
these aren't like the Four Horsemen, like where like they've been the Four Horsemen for centuries. They're just like inhabiting that role at this moment. You know what I mean? They're not like they haven't been the Four Horsemen for centuries. They're just them at that moment. So they're normal people. They got chosen to be those people, kind of like those dudes got chosen to do what they had to do. That's the interesting part. You know what I mean?
Should have came on horseback. Would have been more on the nose.
Yeah, but I don't think it was supposed to be on the nose.
Oh, then
they wasn't.
Then he blew it.
Imagine Mark Wahlberg in this role.
Oh, I fucking hate Mark Wahlberg.
He's one of the dads.
He's one of the dads.
Ow!
Hits him and Will Ferrell.
Schwartz is on fire.
My foot is.
Schwartz is getting fired? No, Schwartz is on fire. So, again, actually at this point, the concussed guy, what were their names again? Jake?
Andrew and Eric. I think the concussed guy was Eric.
Yep, Eric starts asking more and more questions. It's not that he's believing, but he's not as adamant as Andrew that this is all just fucked up. Like none of this can stand. Andrew's stance is none of this can stand, whereas Eric is now starting to question kind of everything about it. But Andrew says, no, everybody shut the fuck up. This is not happening. We're not going to kill ourselves. And then the girl offs herself. Oh, no. I don't know how she does.
They kill them.
They kill.
Well, I think with her, they cut out.
She runs into the house after him when he gets the gun, and he shoots her as she runs towards him, and she bleeds out. And then fucking Batista.
Oh, that's the next one.
No, that's the...
Oh, that's the other lady. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. The first girl,
they do
sacrifice her.
Like the killing, the murder situation.
With their weird weapons.
Old-timey weapons.
Like homemade.
Well,
they're not old.
They were like... They saw him in the visions, is what they said.
And that's cool, too, though.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe cool, I wonder if they were like... yeah. Because they did kind of resemble like old-timey looking weapons, but they look like a modern-day cleaver, like regular. You don't know. You
like weird like chains.
I don't know if you would ever have a
like
cleaver,
that.
Jake. You don't know. You don't have to cut.
Not a cleaver guy.
He goes around with spork.
Yeah,
you're going to spork.
I just have a leather person, and that's it.
Yeah. A leather person.
A leather person.
Oh my god.
You can cut all your vegetables with a butter knife.
No, I do need a bun. I need a good chopper for veggies.
Yeah?
That's true. Yeah.
What's your hardest vegetable? What's the top 5 hard vegetables? Go ahead.
I gotta go broccoli.
Yep.
I don't know, onion or pepper. They're kind of 2 and 3, but I can't decide one or the other. Depends on the ripeness.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. Back up. Potato. First. That's first.
Sweet potato.
And then,
sweet potatoes are harder than
regular
potato.
potato. Broccoli.
I'm going to go one harder. Butternut squash.
That's pretty good.
You ever try to cut through a butternut squash?
Carrots. What's this podcast about again?
Not since Nam.
He's not a friend of yours.
Good guy. Great kisser.
I already said broccoli.
That's fine.
Brussels
Back to
sprouts. Anyway, yeah. What?
back to the movie.
So
Harry
what's the
Potter
second thing that
and
happens
the
when this bitch
Prisoner
dies?
of
What
Azkaban.
happens?
That's when
Is that
the
the planes?
no. That's
That one was
no.
terrible.
That's when they
No.
see like the
That one was rough.
the other version of COVID. I forgot what they call
Yeah,
it. They're like some
some
virus,
A19 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
X19.
and then they're all
But at that point, they say to him like, "that
That's
virus has
been
been
going
around.
on,
Like,
yeah.
that's not something new."
Andrew is also a high power attorney.
Yeah,
so,
he's
like,
worldly.
he's
He's
there,
worldly.
and he's there calling bullshit and arguing and counter.
I liked his character. I thought he handled himself pretty well. Like he didn't fucking he kept his shit going. I liked him. I liked both of their characters. Though. I think they were good. The economy of them was really good.
And at that some point, we learned that he was assaulted by the first guy.
By fucking
by
Ron Weasley.
Ron Weasley. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in a bar with his boy, and they were talking about how they were gonna meet like one of their parents or something. And then he's like, "Man, you
No, it was
gotta
when they
be
were
quiet."
talking about adopting the kid.
Adopting the kid.
Yeah, it was like
he's
right
"You gotta
before
be
they
quiet."
did
He's
it.
like, "What? Too fucking loud for you?"
Yeah.
And then he got smacked in the head with a fucking glass bottle.
Yep.
Youch.
So yeah, this dude had some trauma, clearly. And
Did that? Why was that even necessary? That point.
I don't know.
Like
if it was.
why was it necessary to make Rupert Grint a piece of shit? Just to kind of show like the difference between all the people that came together
that was
with the
just
same vision.
one of the representatives of the Four
you're
Horsemen,
right.
like
You're
the
right.
Malice. Even though everyone else was kind, that guy was a dick.
His name was Alice.
No, it was Malice.
Malice is what he represented.
Yes.
I was just kidding.
And
You're right. There had to be a bad
yeah,
horseman.
and luckily they got rid of him quick. He was the
So-
first one out.
Yeah. Then that happens, and then again, I think the girl tries to escape at that one point.
No.
In the next,
Oh yeah, the little girl.
little girl
She
tries to
does.
escape.
Batista finds her.
She gets her backpack on, goes through the hole, goes to the basement, runs around in this like little hide and seek in the behind the trees, which is kind of a fun scene.
Yeah, it was
Just her
cool.
running around in the woods.
Batista, she was good. I thought this little girl actually killed her.
Oh man, I disagree. I thought
didn't
she was
like her?
awful.
Really?
I thought she was.
I thought she was
god
good. I thought she was
awful.
pretty good.
She was the Mark. She was the Mark Wahlberg. Mark
I mean, she's a
Wahlberg could have
fucking
played
kid.
her. I know, but then kids suck. Most kids are bad actors. You can find good acting kids. I feel like
she was
she's
good.
a super cute kid and she's got charisma, got spunk.
The only part I didn't like when she was screaming. That was not. I wasn't buying that part. I thought everything else.
Well, that was
good.
her acting
Like, I like-
as acting.
I like her conversation with Batista though. I thought she was really good at that.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that was fine. But when she was like trying to show like fear or anything else rather than just talking, it was when she was trying to show any kind of emotion.
I thought she was pretty good.
Okay.
I mean, sure. So then
I didn't think she was.
once
terrible.
the other chick, so they
Yes, I
make
did.
it so they this whole time too. The little girl brought one dude with the concussion a knife, and he's been cutting open his fucking his wrist ropes. And also
And the other
dude
guy
has
is
been slipping for the past like couple
out of
hours.
his bindings.
Yeah, so they're little by little doing that, which they don't know about, but we do as the audience.
This was very Hitchcocky in that way. We're seeing
Yeah.
right. Is that don't they say they does Hitchcock hide things from the audience, or he tells the audience everything, right? He shows the audience everything, and then but even though we were seeing that they were about to get out, Dave Bautista was not, and he was still going on about his day.
Yeah.
I was thinking Hitchcock this whole watching
For sure.
watching
For sure.
Shamalan, modern day Hitchcock,
For sure.
MDHK.
Well, on the
Schwartz compares him to Spielberg.
Wow, that's weird. I was about
Well,
to say
he's
something
certainly
like
trying to be both.
Well, I think what I compare him to Spielberg for is his directing ability. I'm not comparing him to it for his writing ability Spielberg doesn't really write all that much. Spielberg's only wrote like 4 scripts. But the point of what I'm saying is about Spielberg is his camera movement, the way he tells a story, the way he lights his movies, the way he uses characters to introduce feelings in the ways. Like there's some tight shots in all Spielberg movies and some camera movements that I think he legit like pulls from movies that Spielberg's made, like Jaws, like Close Encounters, like things that are classic things that people who make movies like Shamalan does would love as they're growing up. You know what I mean? I think as a director, he's pretty fucking great. I think that's his best strength. He's a really good director. His movies always really, really. I think what you may not like about his movies, Jake, is what he intended 100% to be. Like, not saying he didn't want you to like it.
What, disappointing?
I didn't say he wanted you to like it, but he definitely believed in what he believed in 100%. Like, I think that's comes across pretty strong. Like, his vision is definitely like there. Like, everything's purposeful.
I mean, I give him obviously credit for like seeing all of his shit through, and he makes a decent movie. I still go see his movies, but I'm ultimately always disappointed. But
Always.
yeah, almost always.
Well, Anthony, you fucking love Shyamalan. You always talking Shyamalan. I think
I'm
you're
a
the
big
biggest
Shyamalan
Shyamalan
fan.
here.
What's up, Joel? The movie sucked.
Wasn't good.
Thanks, Joel. Have a good one.
Yeah,
So what do
Joel.
you think about like? I think he always cameos in his movies because Hitchcock did that too. Comparing him to
Yeah.
Hitchcock,
Oh, yeah.
his cameos are kind of lame sometimes.
You didn't like his cameo?
Not
Sure
really.
as love
I
this
feel
one.
like he just kind of like
I like this
rams
cameo.
himself
That was
in
fun.
there.
That was fun.
The only one that stands out to me is Signs.
Well, Signs is
And
Well,
pretty
he's like a
prolific.
It's
he's like a
and it's great.
full-fledged
And-
character in that one.
Actually, one of my favorite ones is The Village when she crawls out and he's the security guard.
I hate
You
that.
really
I
only
don't
see it,
I don't
in
like
the
that one at
reflection
all.
when he opens
No,
it.
you see him. He talks to her. She
Oh,
goes
that's
in.
right. That's right.
To me,
Yeah,
that
I
was
like
like the
that.
Hitchcockiest.
You don't. No,
cameo.
you never. I don't think you ever see his face.
I think he's in
You
a.
do.
I think you see a reflection.
It's just
of
a
him.
reflection. You see
Yeah.
it. You
No,
see.
in The Village, he talks to her.
He does. He gets
Yeah, but
out,
you
but
only
you always
see
see
a
the back of his head, or you only see her. It's always and then he opens the door, and you see like just a reflection of his face in the office.
That makes it even cooler then.
It's pretty cool.
I remember
makes it even
thinking he was
cooler.
super lame because I'm like, he's just trying to
Dude,
be
we've
Hitchcock
come to
right
find
now.
that you're pretty fucking lame.
I'm just a
How
hater.
about that? You're just
I'm just
fucking
a hater.
hating on this dude. All right, so Anthony loves Shyamalan. Top 50 director for Anthony for sure, and Jake
Top
hates
50.
Shyamalan.
Yeah, probably.
Jake
It's
hates
a lot.
Shyamalan. Is Shyamalan your top 50 directors?
No, definitely not.
No? What about
I
100?
don't think so. Sure.
Give him that.
He's at least top 125, right? This episode will
I'll
be
give
like
him that.
130.
I'll give him that. Yeah. Yeah. There's probably more on there. I would be like, nah, fuck that guy. But
I don't know, man. I think you got to respect his storytelling ability to pretty well. I think you know what.
If he
this
could
is what I'm
stick
thinking.
a landing
This is what I'm thinking. Spielberg.
once.
Some people are writers, some people aren't. And Spielberg realized that he's not a writer, but he would get like writers and good people and develop it and produce it really well and get it to a point where it became his, so he can
Yeah.
direct it.
Spielberg
You know what I
makes
mean?
good movies.
Maybe that's what Shyamalan should do. Maybe he should just let other people write it and he
Spielberg
directs
tells
it. You know
good
what I mean?
stories. I wouldn't mind that, but he seems to always take over and does his thing. I don't know. Has he not written any of his other than his like first two? Has he not?
I think he's written
Written.
every single one of his movies except for this one, honestly.
Right. So
Last Airbender.
The Last Airbender, he wrote the script, but he didn't come up with the idea. Like it's
Right.
based off of a.
I mean, this
and I
is
think
based off
After
of a
Earth
book.
is based off of a comic book, but it's also.
I think it's hard because we've come to expect a certain thing from M. Night Shyamalan after Signs.
Yeah,
And
disappointment.
after what?
Yes, disappointment.
I mean,
Shut
I
up.
can't argue
Sorry,
with you. I
go
can't
on.
argue with you. Like
Yeah.
I think it's After the Village, but it is just the only movie that stood up to those movies is Split.
but that's not
That's
what
it.
I'm
That's
saying.
his only movie.
The Village was the
I'm
first time I
saying
was like,
we
fuck
had a
this.
certain
Same.
we've
I
always,
loved that movie.
we have a certain expectations because of Signs, because of, I mean
Yeah.
not Signs, because of
Sixth Sense,
Sense,
really.
because of
Unbreakable. Yeah, he reinforced it with Unbreakable. With the
there's
crazy
these
twist, for
fucking
sure.
like twists and that you want to be like, oh shit, and tell your friends about it.
Yeah.
But that's
Sorry,
hard
I'm
to
being
do
a
that
fudgsicle
many
right now.
times. That's hard to do that.
It's hard to
many
do, and
times.
also when you're not making that story up. Yeah, exactly. It's what you're saying. It's hard
Also,
to do. When
coming
you're-
up with all these different stories that can have an ending like that's not easy.
It's not easy.
Like if you can do 4 or 5 okay ones, some of them are good. That's a fucking accomplishment. You know what I mean?
What's me?
I mean, obviously, this is the thing about it, man. people are still watching his shit because he still makes movies. Like
Yeah.
this dude gets his movies financed and he makes movies his way. Like he's one of the dudes. He's like Robert Rodriguez, where he makes movies outside of the Hollywood system. Hollywood pays for his movies, but he does it all on the East Coast in Pennsylvania on his own shit. He has sound stages. He has a fucking production company out there. Like he doesn't fuck with coming out here. He does all his shit in Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Yeah.
Every one of his movies is set there, like purposely, so that he can shoot there. Like that, he's got it figured out. Like he's doing exactly what he wants to do. Which I give that credit to.
And like I said, I still see his shit. I'm always still interested because it's always an interesting idea behind all of his projects, and there's always like some intrigue there. It's like it's similar to like how I feel about Nolan. Like I always think his shit has like twists and turns that are unnecessary, but he makes decent movies, and I'll still go see most of his movies. Yeah. But I would like to see Shyamalan do something like Nolan did with Dunkirk. Just make like a straightforward movie.
I don't think it's
without anything crazy. That would surprise me. That would be great. You don't need
This was pretty straightforward.
Like this was. I think that
there was no big twist, was there?
But that that was kind of my point.
I think the whole Fourth Horseman thing was trying to be that.
Maybe
that's the only thing.
maybe we're trying too hard because we are expecting a twist.
Right.
We
I
shouldn't
think it's
be
wanting.
We shouldn't be expecting that every time from Shyamalan because obviously he ain't gonna do it every time.
Up until this point, though, he's pretty much tried, right? I didn't really see Old. Was there a twist in Old, or did you know going in?
You kind of knew they were growing old.
Yeah, it was similar to this, like where it's like it kind of just like makes sense the whole thing, but there was like of course like an end, kind of like here's what's going on type deal.
You know why I didn't watch Old? I think because I didn't think I liked the casting. I feel like the cast wasn't that good.
It wasn't like
I don't
Joe
even remember.
Jonas, one of them.
Yeah, I don't even remember what it was.
That's why I didn't watch.
I remember
Old.
the kid from Hereditary, or the guy, the boy.
Oh, the son,
the teenager.
the
yeah.
teenager from Hereditary.
He's good. So he was in.
He was in it.
That's all I can remember.
And Diego Luna's in it, right? Isn't he like a dad or something of somebody?
Is he?
Yeah, I think he is. Or is that Diego Luna, or is that the other? That's the other dude.
I don't remember.
He's from Amos Porres and shit. I forget his name.
Oh, that's right, Daniel Garcia.
Daniel Garcia Parra. He's in it.
Yeah, he is in that.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
Is it Daniel Garcia Parra?
I think it is. Yeah.
Something like that.
Diego Garcia is. They were both in Y Tu Mama
Yeah.
Tambien. And
Okay.
Diego Garcia is the other dude from that movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in that.
Yeah.
So I just looked up. Did M. Night Shyamalan change the ending to Knock at the Cabin? Said, while the premise remains the same, two gay dads and their child are terrorized by four radical home invaders who claim the apocalypse is coming. Shyamalan's movie takes a completely different turn that not only changes the ending, but also the themes, message, and moral questions posited in the Tremblay's novel. Novel.
But there's no specific things.
This probably doesn't want to give away
Yeah, it doesn't.
twist. I'm sure I could dive into it. I just kind of Googled it, but
Well,
I wonder what.
leave it to Shyamalan. Is Shyamalan a fucking good story?
Do you think that he changed it to that? Do you think he added the Four Horsemen thing?
I kind of do, yeah. I think the whole probably like the biblical
Usually,
shit
what's the
and like the
stupidest thing
religious stuff.
to-
I bet that was him.
I gotta look it up. I'm gonna go to Wikipedia and see what the hell that is.
To me, because he's done religious themes within a lot of his movies before, has he not? Like Signs had a lot of that.
No.
So
Maybe Lady in the Water, right? What was that about? Was she an angel? What the fuck was she? Was
that's
she a
what
nymph?
I mean. Joel was saying he was like Christian propaganda.
Yeah,
This movie, yeah. Well, because it's Christian. The faith that they're talking about is the Christian faith, right?
yeah, a lot of his shit's like that. Yeah.
I think
Signs.
Signs. He was a reverend.
Yeah, that just questioned faith. You're right. It's just true. Signs was pretty good. That was such a good way to do it, man. Signs is such a good. Going back to the directing aspect of it, he's such a fucking good director, and Signs is one of the best directed movies I think ever. It's so sure of itself, and it's so good. It's so cohesive. It really is. It's such a good movie. Signs is so good.
Mel Gibson's great in that movie.
So is Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix is great in that movie.
Joaquin for
He doesn't
sure.
say a whole lot.
But he's great.
Every speech Mel Gibson gives in that movie is just like fucking money.
Yeah. Mel Gibson, that was one of his best roles, I think, because he played a guy he doesn't usually play. But he's like a vulnerable dude who's going through some shit, you know?
Jake, what's your opinion on Mel Gibson?
I'm not a big Mel Gibson fan, but that movie definitely had some good stuff in it. I liked, I'm a big Alien.
The
movie
alien was
fan,
creepy as fuck in that movie.
for sure.
That first time you see it on top of the barn when he looks out the window.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, that's terrifying. Terrifying.
The leg was scary, and like you see the leg kind of turn in the cornfield, but no, when he looks out the window because it's kind of like a little sweet. Oh no, she freaks him out, right? So it's already a little jump scare right in the beginning. She freaks him out, and then he looks out the window and he sees it and jumps.
That's
over.
the scariest part to me.
It was.
That
It
would
was
scare
terrifying.
the shit out of me.
And then they run out there and charge at it. Ooh, I got the chills a little bit.
So this movie had $20 million budget.
Is that a B movie? You think?
No.
20 million. I guarantee you though, Dave Bautista did this movie pretty cheap because he read this and was probably like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying they cheaped out. I'm not saying, all right, we'll get him for cheap, but he probably would have done this no matter what they're going to pay him because his point right now is
I think he showed pretty good chops.
His
in
point
this.
right now is not to be The Rock. He even said
Right.
that. He's like, I'm not The Rock.
He
Like, I'm
chooses-
gonna
I
act.
think he
I want to
chooses
wear a
good
fucking
movies.
collared shirt and glasses.
And I think he probably picks directors he wants to work with as well.
I
like,
bet.
you know,
I bet.
like, you
I
know.
bet he's. I bet he's an M Night Shyamalan fan.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
how
probably.
old is he? He can't
Probably
be
like
much older than
45.
us.
He's probably 45.
Batista. I think he's actually pushing 50.
Oh,
but,
wow.
Yeah, but because he was an older
Old.
guy.
Yeah, but even
he was already, like,
1999 was when
you
Sixth
know.
Sense came out, so he's definitely a fucking Shyamalan fan.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Who's not a
totally, I'm
Shyamalan
sure he
fan?
is, yeah.
Shyamalan calls a salami and says, "Hey, you want to be in a movie?" I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, dude, let me be in your movie."
Yeah. I heard he's
not
gonna
gonna say no.
adapt. I heard he's gonna adapt Harry Potter. He wants you to play Dobby.
What?
Yeah, Dobby Islami.
Dablami. That's what I'm gonna name myself. I wonder what kind of lightsaber I'll have.
Hot pink. With splashes of neon green.
It's purple. It's going purple.
Purple's Mace Windu, baby.
Who was the fourth person that died? Oh, the other girl.
Yeah, the other girl.
So
she gets
the-
shot.
She gets shot by homeboy.
But
Yeah,
then,
so
but then
he
Batista
runs out, he
finishes
goes to
her
the
off.
car, he unlocks his gun. Let's talk about this for a minute. Why have a gun if you're going to keep it in your car unloaded?
Yeah, the bullets weren't even in the fucking magazine.
Well,
They just weren't expecting.
clip. They weren't even in the
you
clip.
know, they
Why-
weren't expecting.
what's the gun for?
They weren't expecting the Four Horsemen
What's
to
the gun for?
come and ride in.
I feel like you gotta have that gun in the house, loaded, ready to cock that shit.
Well,
yeah.
But you can keep it in the fucking
rock,
safe.
lock,
keep it in the
rock.
safe.
I think
Pop
just
that shit open
keep-
and fucking
Cock,
start
lock,
blasting.
load,
keeping
rock,
away
dude.
from the
Start
kid
blasting
at the time.
mofos.
Maybe they just got there.
I say you
Hard to
get,
say.
if you're at home,
fully unpacked.
you get an outside the waistband holster.
You
You
could go
just
that
walk
far.
around with your fucking gun on your hip. You
I
know
don't-
why? It's there all the time.
I don't think it was that dude's
Four
style.
horsemen come in.
It's not.
I don't
it's not
think
their
it was that dude's style to
There's
do
a
that.
style.
Not his style to do that, but he should have had that shit.
Plus they're out in the woods.
This is what he should
Throw
have had.
that gun on the hip.
He should have had it on top of the fridge in the lockbox, ready to fucking press the button and fucking go. That's where he should have had it. That's
Anywhere
where it should have
accessible.
been.
Anywhere but
Yeah,
the car and
yeah.
loaded.
Loaded.
Please.
Fucking clip in, fucking ready to
At
cock
least
that shit.
The
Not
thing,
e- and
the thing
cocked.
loaded.
Sure, sure,
If it's in the safe, no one's going to pull the trigger.
sure.
That was stupid.
Oh, I mean,
But that said, he got shots off and he was pretty proficient with it. I guess
yeah. He knew how to
Right.
use it, which I loved. He definitely knew how to use it.
There's nothing stupid about gun safety.
No,
Nothing.
not at
I
all.
agree, I
And
agree.
he didn't come across as someone who didn't know what gun safety was. Like he
Right.
was trained in gun
Oh, yeah.
safety.
He wasn't fucking around.
Like, well, that's isn't that how you're like supposed to keep it?
Yeah.
Like, locked.
Well,
unload it.
I don't
like,
think you
all
need to
that
keep
shit.
it unloaded, but
No,
I don't know.
not if you like expect to use it. You keep bullets in your gun, dude.
Right. I don't think they're expecting the Four Horsemen. That's
You're right.
probably
You're
all,
absolutely
you know?
right.
I don't think anyone should be expecting a 4 horseman. That just
I'm not
happens.
expecting. I don't have my gun. But I tell you one thing, it's loaded.
Wherever it is, it's
You coming to
loaded.
my house, I'm not gonna have to load my
It
gun.
also seemed like
Hold on a second.
Daddy Eric wasn't a big fan, so maybe that's the thing. He like doesn't want the gun around, but
Yeah, I get it. But load
Andrew
your gun.
knows it's there.
What it should be loaded. It should
Right.
be cocked. It should be in a
Accessible.
holster. A nice holster that has good hold and covers the trigger. Nothing can happen in a holster.
With kids around?
There's no kids around.
There's a kid.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the kid.
She wasn't dumb though. I don't think she would fuck with that gun.
No,
She
no,
wasn't dumb.
Jake's right. Keeping the lockbox. There's a
Yeah.
kid. Jake's right. I forgot about the kid.
Yeah, there was a
Wasn't
kid.
good about the kid.
Yeah.
But it was in a lockbox, so they were doing.
You,
right.
I still think
They
the
were doing
bullet
the
should have
right
been
thing.
in the clip, and the
Yeah.
clip should have been in the gun,
I'll give
uncocked.
you. I'll give you.
But it
I'll
should have
give
been
you
locked in the
I'll
box.
give you in the clip.
Cock,
at
if
least.
it's locked in the box, cock it.
I mean, I don't know. Give the cocking is a little bit
Too
bit
ready.
more
It's
safe,
too
right?
ready.
Girl can't shoot if she doesn't cock it, right?
Safety on or
If
off.
she has access to the gun, there's already a problem. She shouldn't
Safety
have
on or
access to it.
off.
100%.
There's no. It didn't look like there was a safety on that gun.
Well, that's not very safe at all.
A lot of guns don't
Doesn't even have a
safeties.
fucking. Really? I thought all guns had safeties.
No.
As did I.
I don't know shit about guns.
Many guns don't have safety,
Okay.
especially like handguns like that.
What's the point of that? That's just it's not a safety's like a luxury.
Safety is one extra step you got to do before you pull the trigger and need to defend yourself. It's just one extra step you got to get bypassed. Like I said, if it's cocked in a proper holster, nothing bad can happen. Guns, you're not going to fall on your gun and shoot it yourself. You know. We can talk gun safety all day.
This isn't about gun safety. We got gun safety all day.
But that said, he got it loaded and he got it done. He took care of the business. Shot her. Did he kill her?
Yeah.
Well, that was later. He shot at her to scare her, then she ran away, and then
he goes back in the house, and then she ends up running in on him,
out.
shoots her in the gut.
Why did she run in like
shoots.
that?
I think she knew.
Seemed
I think she kind of knew that her time was coming, dude.
Yeah.
probably.
Like
So that horseman, what was her? Oh, like
planes.
help.
Hers was the planes.
Yeah, but she was the medic. She was the helper.
She was the nurse. Bro, the planes
The
fucking
healer
one
or
was
something.
terrifying.
Yeah, that was
700
her,
planes.
just falling out of the sky.
That was terrifying.
was
That's one of my
I
worst
don't think
nightmares.
they would be falling like that. I thought that was a little funny, but
Whatever.
They were all, they all seemed to have different.
They were all-
One of them was just upside down, going on an angle.
why was it upside down? Who flipped it?
Yeah,
Fucking Denzel Washington in this bitch.
Denzel just turns up in every plane like,
Denzel
oh
just
shit,
there.
I think I know what to do.
That's in his
That's
head.
the
He's just
twist.
turning up in the
That's the
plane.
twist. It's connected with flight. That's the Shamalan twist.
In the flight universe.
It's Flight 2,
This is sequel.
Electric Boogaloo.
This is a sneaky sequel to
John
Flight.
Goodman just comes out. That's how we know. He's like, you guys got it right. You guys got it right. John Goodman.
Yeah, I got
John
it.
Goodman?
I got it. He's a drug dealer. I get
No,
it.
I was like being him.
Oh.
I was being M. Night Shyamalan, being excited that John Goodman was in my movie because that was the twist of the movie.
Oh, okay.
I was making fun.
I get it. I like it.
You
I don't think I got it.
All right, so where are we in the story now? She dies.
She dies.
And then Batista tells him again, you gotta do this, guys. You gotta do this.
Yeah. Then he's like, let's go outside. I'd rather die outside.
Yeah, and he cuts his throat and says, you're gonna have a couple minutes to sacrifice one of yourselves to save the world.
Sad to see Batista go.
I don't know. I think they did it too late. That's what I read at the end. I think the world was still dying.
No, because they got to that like diner and they're like, there's no more signs of disease and the fires are out.
heard
And
all that?
Yeah, like they said all that. Yeah, you were nodding off.
Yeah, it was
You were
toward
going
the
to
end there.
sleep?
I was like this.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. That diner in the end, it's like 20 minutes from my house where I grew up. I've seen that a million times.
In Joyzy.
In Jersey.
And then they boogie shooed again, and then they left.
They got good milkshakes.
Well, yeah, he killed him. Did we even say that he killed?
No, he Eric. What was it?
Oh, yeah, he killed
Andrew
homeboy.
killed Eric because Eric figured, okay, this shit seems real. So
I
And
was
he
not-
believed.
yeah, he
He was
finally
willing
believed.
to. He believed, so he was willing to sacrifice himself because he was a true believer.
Do you think that that's why everything stopped?
Yeah, because he died.
I
you
guess. I
believe.
mean, that's what they're saying in the fucking movie. I don't know.
So you believe?
That's why I'm being force fed for those 90
What's
minutes.
funny is they'll never really know. He could have just killed him for no reason. And I'm curious about the repercussions later on. What happens to that? Like what happened to
Most things were
they're gonna
on
ask-
fire
ask
as far as
questions.
I was looking at.
Things were, but then they stopped.
You guys ever watched the movie Knowing with Nicolas Cage?
No.
Pretty crazy movie.
Most
Pretty
things
crazy
on
movie.
fire.
A lot of crazy movies with Nicolas Cage. Anyway, I think this is one of his stronger movies from the last half of his career.
Who Batista's?
Batista's strongest role, Shyamalan's.
Batista's strongest role, better than Glass Onion.
Yes.
I don't think this is. Oh, I don't know. This was like his probably strongest lead.
This is his best role. He had a lot of depth in this role. He did a
Yeah.
lot of things you normally wouldn't see him do in this
He had a
movie.
good performance.
He was great in Glass
A
Onion.
lot of vulnerability in this role.
He was great in Glass Onion. I loved him in Glass Onion, especially when he was plotting with his girl, trying to seduce Edward Norton and shit. And then I thought he was great, but this was way different
this-
than
this-
that.
yeah,
even.
this
This
was
was a role that
less-
this is a role that like fucking Philip Seymour Hoffman or Sam Rockwell could play. You know what I mean? Like he was really good in this.
Yeah, this was surprising.
Christopher
for him.
Walken could play this role.
Stanley Tucci.
You expect like Batista to be like a funny badass. Usually,
Yeah,
in
he
some
was
way or
not
another.
either of
This
those
was just
things.
like a vulnerable.
Yeah, just a big fucking
like,
dude.
Yeah,
And he
Just
honestly
also
didn't look like
happens to be
big
big.
giant.
didn't actually look like
Yeah.
he was. Well, no, it's not true.
still covered in tats.
Yeah,
But he was.
He's
like
a school teacher?
second grade teacher.
Yeah.
Very intimidated. Yeah, I mean,
After
yeah,
school
that dude
program.
could pull off
Yeah.
a basketball coach for sure.
yeah, that's true.
I think he's been around.
What other movies is he in other than Galaxies
He was in Blade Runner for a little bit, 2049, that being scene, which was a really good role. He was great in that.
Dune.
Dune. Yeah, he was in Dune.
That's not the same movie.
No, same
Pretty
director.
much the same movie.
Same director, but not the same movie.
I know he was in some comedies too.
Yeah, he's been in some shit. He was in that movie with the little girl who were like partners in crime or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was in that. But I think this is gonna make him like people be like, oh shit, he can do a lot more shit.
So.
Yeah.
He killed it.
You know who's great too is John Cena in his show Peacemaker. Oh my god,
yeah.
he's so fucking funny in that show. John Cena's in the new fucking Fast. Was John Cena in the other Fast and Furious
Yeah.
movies?
I think he's
Oh, he was?
some.
From
I've
like,
seen a lot
at
of
least 6 on.
them. I
Really?
Like Cena as an
So The
actor.
Rock
He's
and
good.
him were in the movies?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
crazy.
yeah, 6, like 6, 9. They have. It's everybody, dude. Everyone's back. The kid.
Charlize Theron.
I don't know about that.
She was in the
Was
trailer.
she?
Yeah.
Gal Gadot's in it.
Yeah, I didn't
That
see
blew my
her.
mind. I don't. It's
I didn't see
CGI
her.
Paul Walker.
CGI
Oh,
Paul
God.
Walker's brother's in it.
Sick.
Imagine the ending
have
of
the
Fast
guy
10
from,
is Vin Diesel dying and he
in
sees
space.
Paul Walker in heaven and they like embrace and then just goes,
No, as he's
Are they
dying,
go-
La Familia.
Are they
as he's
going to
dying, The
space?
Rock comes out and he just flips him off, and then
then
The
it goes,
Rock takes over.
La Familia.
He goes, La Familia's over. He goes,
Fuck
aim
La
for the
Familia.
bushes.
Fuck La Familia. The Rock's
Fuck La
coming in the
Familia.
butt fuck La Familia.
And then he flexes.
I fucking love that. I'd watch all the Rock fucking La Familias.
Go ahead, Jake. Who's your favorite wrestler of all time?
My favorite wrestler of all. That's a tough question. Probably,
Macho Hulk Hogan
probably
Savage.
Chris Jericho. I'd say.
Oh
Chris
my god, it's
Jericho.
terrible pick. That guy sucks.
What about Chris Benoit?
You should have said Stone Cold, dude. Stone Cold's
Nah.
number one. Undisputed.
Stone Cold's great, but I mean, he doesn't have a lot of longevity in his career. He kind of, I mean, he had a good career, but like, I'd rather.
All right, Undertaker or Madonna?
Undertaker
All right. Well, okay.
Madonna?
Yeah.
for best wrestler.
For just overall, which one would you pick?
Undertaker. Unless we're like, unless we gotta fuck him.
Yeah, that's true. That's the
If I gotta
scenario.
fuck him or get fucked by one, I'm going that easily. I'm going back. I'm going.
Yeah,
Madonna,
I guess
but
it's circumstantial. Like,
everything
what is,
else.
what's
I'm
the
going
choice? Yeah.
Undertaker.
All right, you got to look at it as like percentage. Like, is it going to be better to have one of them than the other? It's what you got to choose.
What do you mean have?
Like all the instances that you could use them, that being one of them. Which one would be better to have? Like,
If that is included at all, it's Madonna. If there's
So,
any
let me-
sexual
let me ask
contact
you-
at all,
Let me ask you
it's
this.
Madonna.
Let me ask you this: what if it's every situation but sexual contact? Then who do you choose?
Then it's Undertaker.
So if it's only if it's sexual contact, is
Yeah.
it cheek? Okay.
Fair.
Well, I mean, I guess we can get into the minutia of what sexual contact is.
I guess. No,
Let's-
let's not do that. Let's
Okay.
not do that.
I don't want to insert
I don't
or
want to wait
have anything
for
inserted
this
into me
convo to be
by
over.
the Undertaker.
Yeah, I get it. You're not
But
Jake.
Madonna,
Jake
it's
loves
fine.
him.
Mouth included.
Mouth shit's his favorite shit.
Who, Jake's?
Undertaker.
I bet.
Mouth to mouth,
He's
baby.
like 9 feet tall. I guess he's probably perfect height.
Yeah, you walk in, you just dick out.
But in that case, I'm dicking out for Madonna. I've got to. But if it's like maybe like an HJ from the Undertaker, because I'd rather hang out with the Undertaker for sure. And if it was just like, all right, but he's got to jerk you off every now and then, I'd be like, all right, fuck it. How often? Like every day or
Like every 3 weeks.
every 3 weeks? All right, fuck it, dude. Do I have to come?
Oh my god, my stomach hurts.
Because it's not going to be easy.
No. Just gotta close your
I
eyes.
can't imagine he's
Close
got
your eyes
soft
real
hands.
tight.
Stop, I can't breathe. I can't. Ow. Ow.
So,
But I would love to hang
we-
out with the Undertaker. Watching movies with the Undertaker, that'd be great.
he's in Texas somewhere.
Just jerking off.
Just jerking off in
People.
Texas.
Oh my god.
So what did we miss? Did we get everything? That was the movie, right?
Yeah.
What other things?
How do you think they could have explained the Four Horsemen situation without saying Those are the four horsemen.
You said it.
I hated that. That was my least favorite part of the movie.
What do you?
That turned me off
That's
the movie
the
completely.
Shyamalan part.
Yeah.
That turned me off the movie completely.
You got-
That was Shyamalan.
Oh, I was looking that
Shyamalan.
up.
Shyamalan.
Are those new glasses?
Yes.
Those are nice.
Thank you.
Let me see. Turn it that way. Little Ray-Bans?
Little Ray-Ban
Oh,
stuff.
those are expensive.
Ray-Ban? Oh yeah, only the best.
Where'd you get those?
The glasses store.
Which one?
I don't.
You ever fuck with America? You ever fuck
I don't
with?
remember
You
what.
ever fuck with America's Best? They're pretty good.
It's the glasses store by my house. I don't
Nice.
remember. I don't know what it's fucking
Nice,
called.
nice.
Great doctor. I forgot his name, but I'd plug him if I remembered. Next
Great
time.
doctor who we can't plug.
I'll plug him next week.
Sick.
I got a pair of clear glasses, and I don't like the way they look on me.
Can I have them?
No, they're
I have
prescription.
them?
You wouldn't want
Are they my prescription?
them. No,
They might be mine.
maybe.
Maybe.
You guys have the same prescription? That's cute.
Probably not.
Probably not.
But anyway, back to my question. How do you
that?
what do you think they could have done better than rather than have them? Because they just that was kind of an annoying part for everybody. Everybody
That took
thought
me
that
out
was
of it.
stupid.
Yeah.
Took me out of it. I loved it up until that point. I
Like,
was like,
everything was already a little on the nose, and then he.
well, they just brought the
literally-
religion fully to the surface in that moment,
Yeah.
and I didn't like that. I didn't like that. It didn't have to be that.
And also,
but that's what I'm saying. How could there's
Cult. It should have been a cult. They could have just been a cult.
No. I like the fact that it was the Four Horsemen. I think that's interesting. I just don't like the fact that he had to say it out loud like that.
yeah.
But
leave
did
it
you
more-
think
leave it
that
more
before
ambig-
that?
No, but
I
that's
think
what I'm saying.
If
is
there
how,
was symbolism, I think they could have
Yes.
represented them without saying the fucking words.
Yeah.
Maybe
These are
they
the
could have
four
talked
horsemen.
about 'em
Each
or
person
something.
represents
Yeah.
this. Like he just
Yeah.
spelt it the fuck out.
Yeah.
I think maybe they didn't have to do any kind of explanation because it could have just been something that the fans would have been like, what that was, right?
They would
Like
dissect
you,
it,
like
yeah.
you
Like,
caught
that's
the,
the four
caught
horsemen.
the grasshoppers representing the locusts. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Like that's
when
a
they're
smart
talking about play, and
representation, but it
they
yeah.
were they did. I mean, it was obviously plague-y. I just think that could have come across without, and that what it was like a fucking 2-minute section of the movie that they could have taken out, and it would have been
And they just
less.
make it-
It
Would have been more
a little less
interesting.
annoying.
Lay the
Would have been more
cards out.
interesting.
And
Would have been more
Even
interesting.
with the exact same message, even
Sure.
if he meant the exact same thing,
Sure.
it could have been a little better.
Yeah,
that
like
way.
I agree with that.
Leave some ambiguity to the movie.
Yes.
Like leave it almost like they could have left out that like the diner scene. Like because you were questioning whether or not did they end it. Leave that open, and I would have probably liked it more honestly. Like,
Yeah.
If they didn't spell out like, oh, all these things stopped. It's like kind of drive into the world. And are we open? Like maybe they fucked
Yeah.
up. Maybe they just killed
But
Eric for no reason.
Visually
Yeah.
alone,
It looked fucked up, yeah.
'cause- and that was my thinking. I was like, man, that he killed him and it didn't even work.
Right, yeah, it could have been a little darker, and they just killed him. He could have, maybe sacrificed himself a few minutes earlier, and we still have Batista. Imagine Batista just walking through the woods with like this gay dude and his like Asian daughter. That would be such a cool movie.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, we
essentially like
fixed
a
it.
Game of the Thrones.
did it.
It's like a Game of Thrones episode.
Not only
You're saying they should have wandered out together,
Yeah,
like they were
with-
talked about, how they
with
could wander the
Batista.
world. That was pretty interesting too. Is like,
or they
you
save
just
Batista's
choose that.
life. He cuts his throat,
Yeah.
and then immediately they save his life, and
Right.
the other guy kills himself.
Yeah.
and then yeah,
And they're like three
Something
best
weird like
friends
that.
that anyone could ever have.
yeah, three best friends.
Batista starts banging that dude.
Maybe.
Damn, Batista's the girl's new mom.
Yep.
Yeah.
mean,
Dr. Batista or Mr. Dad Batista.
Dad Batista,
Dad Batista.
Daddy Batista.
Uncle Dave.
Uncle Dave.
Yeah.
Uncle Dave and Daddy, they bang.
Who's this guy? Uncle Bob, huh? Okay.
That guy fucks.
Okay, what's that from?
I don't know.
Uncle Bob, huh?
I don't know.
Okay, Terminator 2, man. T2. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? Whatever. Remember when they go to the
Yes.
guy's house in T2?
When
get
she
all
gets the guns and shit. Yeah. Yeah.
T2, great movie.
I remember.
Oh,
I remember.
James Cameron.
Best.
Third best James Cameron.
Yeah, so that's it.
All right, that was good. What do you rate it? Scale 1 to 10. Go.
I didn't really think about it.
I'm assuming no one wrote haikus. It was
No.
all very short notice.
we just came from the movie theater right before we did this.
You're right.
Shyamalan strikes again. Wait, no.
No.
Shyamalan strikes again. Yeah.
M. Night strikes again.
But
This one
is right.
was a stinker. Refrigerator.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. It wasn't really a stinker.
I liked it more than a lot of his other ones.
Top 5. Does this get?
Why are you giving him a top 5?
But does this is this 6?
Land in the top 5.
No, The Visit would be 6.
So this is 7.
Yeah, probably.
But right above The Lady in the Water. BDH in the water. BDH
I guess it would be this, and then Lady in the Water. I never saw Last Airbender or After Earth.
Sick.
Maybe After Earth is like really good.
Probably
None of
not.
us have seen it.
Jaden Smith Pinkett's in that movie.
Yeah, it also has a
Jaden
4.8 on
Pinkett
IMDb.
Yeah.
So
Jaden
No,
Pinkett Smith.
Jaden. Why,
And
you're not a
Will
big
Smith.
Jaden fan?
Jaden's
Jaden's pretty good.
He was good in Pursuit of Happiness.
Jaden's pretty good.
He's good in Pursuit of Happiness. I'll give
Will
him that.
Smith's a good actor.
He is good, but not in that movie. That movie was. I heard it was just doo-doo.
is it basically
It's a comic
Pursuit of
book.
Happiness in space?
No, not at all. It's about a kid who's got to like save his dad. He's got to go on an adventure, like save his injured dad.
That
7 pounds?
Sounds. Is it 7 pounds in space?
It's 7 pounds 2 Electric Boogaloo in space.
I just maybe. I don't know.
What do you rate it, Jake? 1 to 10. I'm gonna go first then. Yeah, you go.
I was just 5.
5 straight up.
5. Yeah.
7-1.
Wow.
What's wow about it?
I'm gonna go 6.0.
So I don't think 7-1's a high score.
That's pretty good.
I think
if you get a 6,
that's
I think
pretty
if you're-
okay.
I think if you're like a
That's-
6,
that's okay.
6.6
pretty
between
okay.
like. I think if you're a 6 or better, you're doing good. I think if you're 6 or better, you're doing
I
good.
think if I like the movie a lot, I'm closer to 8. That's
Okay,
just
that's
how
a
my-
high rating.
that's how my
But
thing
I think 7's a really good score, and I mean you like Shyamalan a lot.
I do
so
like Shyamalan.
So that
And
makes sense.
I
for
didn't
you.
hate. I agree that there was a couple parts that were just like, well, I don't know if that was necessary. And there was a couple parts that were hard to watch. I'd like to see it again, but
I don't think I'd watch this ever again.
It didn't make
I don't
it
know. I
better
think I'd watch
seeing
this ever
it
again.
twice.
Honestly.
it didn't make it better twice.
No.
No,
I'll watch again. I'll try not to doze the next time.
Almost made it worse.
I would not watch this again.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is that like I've watched Unbreakable, I've watched Sixth Sense, I've watched Signs, I've watched
Those
The
are
Village,
good.
I've watched Split, probably 10 times each because they're so fucking good. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Even The Happening I've seen a few times because at its core, the first like
I watched The Happening not too long ago.
The first 60% of The Happening is actually not bad, and then it just goes
It's-
off the fucking deep end.
Mark
I
Wahlberg-
love the opening
Mark
though.
Wahlberg's so
when the people
bad.
start killing themselves, and shit, it's super fucking crazy,
it's-
interesting.
It's worth watching.
It's
Mark
so
Wahlberg's
crazy.
performance.
He's so bad.
He's
I
so
don't
bad.
hate
He's
it.
so
It's
fucking
just
bad.
an absurd film.
It is, but
I
it's a
don't
cool
hate it.
idea.
I
It's a
know,
cool
I agree.
idea, man.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's the
When the
M. Night
people just start
Shyamalan way.
changing, and in the end, when the wind just blows again, you're
Cool
like, "Oh
idea.
shit, it's
Ah,
back."
fuck.
That was cool.
It's a good movie.
It's not.
It's a good movie.
It's not.
It's better than this one.
It's a good. Nah.
Maybe.
Nah. I
better
can't.
than
I
this
can't
one.
for Marky Mark. It's
No,
too bad.
it's better than
He's
this one.
so bad.
I think Batista
He's
carries
so
this
bad.
one more
Yeah,
than Marky
Batista
Mark
makes
carries
this
that
movie
one.
better than
Yeah,
that.
that's
Batista's
true.
really good in this.
Batista makes this one
This
a
is
lot better.
Batista's juiciest
But
role
once
so
they
far.
kill
There's
Batista-
no one good actor in the
John
Happening.
Leguizamo was pretty good, but he
Leguizamo's
dies pretty
alright.
early.
I guess once they kill
With the
Batista
stats.
in
He's
this
got these
movie,
stats,
it's all
just-
bad after that. It's only good with Batista in it.
You're right.
And
You're
then,
right.
then once he's dead, it's bad.
That's
well,
good
I mean,
about
once
The
he's dead,
Happening.
there's like 4 more minutes.
What's good in The Happening is
The
that
four
the first,
shitty
like, 20
minutes?
minutes, Marky Mark's not even in.
No, it's just people dying.
And it's interesting because it's like, and then again, back to his directing, the way
Yeah.
he shoots it, the way he makes it, it's just really good storytelling.
Yeah.
Dude's a great director.
Great director.
Fucking great director.
Shout out to M. Night Shyamalan if you're listening.
Yeah, he's been in our lives for a long time.
Hit us up if you want to be on the podcast and defend your lower end movies.
Or this one.
Jake would love to listen.
All right, Shamalan.
Good night, Shyamalan.
Balls in your court, M. Night.
Good night.